Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of my macro series. Today we're going to be talking about determining your daily caloric intake. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take the maintenance intake you found in the last video and we're going to change that. We're going to increase it or decrease it based on your goal in order to create your daily caloric intake. Okay, so when it comes to finding your intake, you're just going to use this formula right here. Initially, this is going to give you a good starting point. So let's say you're bulking. All this means is your maintenance. So you're just going to take your maintenance plus 10% of your maintenance equals your intake. And if you're cutting, it's the opposite. You just take your maintenance minus 10% of your maintenance equals your intake. So what I recommend doing is whatever number it gives you, whichever one of these you use, you wait until the next video when I teach you how to break these down into your macronutrients, and you try this for a week. Same caloric intake every day, same macronutrients every day, and you check your physique. In the morning, you weigh yourself before breakfast, and you check your physique throughout the day, and you see how this affects your physique. So as usual, I'm going to use me as an example. Right now I'm bulking, and my maintenance intake is 2,500 calories. So plus 10% of that, plus 250, equals 2,750. This is how many calories I'm taking in the day right now. So before we start calculating your caloric intake, it's important for you to understand a simple concept. And what it is explaining how and why bulking and cutting works. Also, before I explain that, you have to understand that 1 pound is equivalent to 3,500 calories. To explain bulking or cutting, basically how it works is, say you have a maintenance of 2,500 calories a day. So you burn 2,500 calories a day. You eat 3,000 calories a day. You're in a surplus of 500 calories per day. 7 days in a week, 500 times 7 is 3,500. So just based off that information, you should be gaining around 1 pound a week. Now whether that pound goes to fat or muscle or how much of it goes to which is going to depend on a lot of factors such as genetics, how long you've been training, how you train, how much of a surplus you're in, etc. So whatever your goal is, I definitely recommend taking the slow approach because doing it too fast and too drastic can damage your metabolism and will not get you where you want to be. So I'm going to talk a little bit about errors I've made in my physique and nutrition and so on in the past with both bulking and cutting for all of you out there, so you don't make the same mistakes that I have. For all the bulkers out there, for the first year and a half of training, I bulked, and I put on some decent size, but as you saw in my transformation picture, I did get pretty fat. But that's definitely the way you're going to want to do it. Long, slow bulks is the way to go, because I tried doing 3-month, 6-month bulks. You're not going to put on a significant amount of size. Like, you need to stay in a surplus for, I'd say, at least a year. And if you're starting out, 2 years is what I recommend for if you're first starting out. And on the other end of it, cutting, not until recently did I know what I was doing when it came to cutting. The first time I cut, I was eating probably like 1,500 or less calories a day. And I just completely jumped from eating a lot to right there. And my metabolism just shot down. I wasn't losing weight, but I was just starving myself pretty much, maintaining my body fat. I was losing muscle, and I felt horrible all the time. So as I said before, definitely you're going to want to take the slow approach to both of them because that's the way it's going to work. These results are not going to come instantly. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to take multiple bulks and multiple cuts to get your physique to where you want to be. But consistency and patience is the way you need to be when it comes to bodybuilding or changing your physique in any way at all. So as you can see by here, I'm only in a surplus of around 250 calories, and I'm considering increasing that. But right now, that's actually working out really well for me because I'm doing a long bulk. It's probably going to be about a year, and my weight is going up steadily. My physique is improving steadily. I'm not getting too fat too quick. I'm putting on, pretty good size. It's only been about 3 months, but it's going very well. So as I said before, I definitely recommend a small surplus or a small deficit if you're cutting, and just keep it that way. Take the long approach because that's the way it's going to work the best. Now keep in mind, guys, this is going to work 99% of the time. The only reason this wouldn't work the number it gives you is because you're either, if you're cutting, say you've been eating like 1,000 calories a day for a really long time, your metabolism could be completely destroyed. And I'm going to make another video explaining how to rebuild that back up so you can be eating a lot more food and still be leaning out. And the other way around, if you're bulking and you're eating like 3,000 calories a day and you're still leaning out, then I'll make another video for that as well, probably paired with the other one, explaining how to fix your metabolism or how to adjust to your high metabolism. So to conclude all this, I'm going to use an example I just created to help simplify all this for you. So say there's a guy whose maintenance intake is 2,000 calories a day, and he's trying to bulk, so he's going to increase it by 200 calories because that's 10% of his intake. So he's now on 2,200 calories a day. What he's going to do is he's going to stay on that caloric intake for a week. He's going to weigh himself in the morning before breakfast, and he's going to check his physique throughout the week in the mirror. If it affects him in the way he wanted it to, great. If it doesn't, you guys should have enough information based on what I've provided to adjust accordingly. And if you still can't figure it out after that, feel free to email me at paramountaesthetics@gmail.com, or you can always leave me an inbox here at YouTube. I'm glad to help. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Be looking out for the next video where I explain how to break down your caloric intake into your macros. And feel free to let me know if you have any questions.